Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take apart a real-world plagiarism report, piece by piece, to see what story the numbers are actually telling us. Let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing that just smacks you in the face is this number, 90%. That's the similarity score from the report. You know, a score that high is, well, it's a big deal. It's the kind of thing that makes you stop and ask,
What does that really mean, 90% similar? Is it just a straightforward case of copy and paste, or is there a more complicated story buried in all that data? That's the mystery we're going to try to solve here.
To get started, we've got to break that big number down. See, the report doesn't just throw a single score at you. It splits it up into different categories, and that's where we find our first clues.
So the report breaks it down like this. There's a 91% match with sources just out there on the internet. Then there's an 86% match with other student papers. And finally, a 36% match with official publications. Now, the first thing you probably notice is those numbers don't add up to 100. And that tells us something really important right away. There is a ton of overlap. The same text is popping up in all these different places. Because of that overlap, we've got to follow the digital breadcrumbs. So where is this text actually coming from? Well, the report flags a few specific websites that pretty much tell the whole story. The number one source, and it's not even close, is a website called ResearchGate. If you haven't heard of it, it's basically this massive social network where scientists and researchers can share their work, ask questions, and connect with each other. And the amount of matching text from just this one website is, honestly, it's staggering, 26%. Let that sink in for a second. Over a quarter of the entire similarity score is coming from a single academic hub. Coming in at number 2 and 3 are a couple of other major players. They're both online repositories for academic journals. One is focused on Indian research, and the other is a site called modernresearch.org. And when you look at it like this, you can really see how concentrated it is. Just these top 3 sources, all of them online platforms for research, make up a combined 60% of the total similarity. That's, wow, over half the score from just 3 websites. And the pattern just keeps going. We see another academic website, and then SlideShare, which is a place people upload presentations. But it's not just these public websites. The report flags something else, something a lot more specific. And this is where the story gets really interesting. Right, this is where we get to what is, for me, the most revealing piece of this whole puzzle. A direct, undeniable link to papers turned in by other students at completely different schools.
When you see that, you can't help but think, that tells a story, doesn't it? It really suggests this text isn't just passively sitting on the web somewhere, it's being actively used in assignments that other students are submitting.
And these aren't just some vague possibilities. The report names names, flagging direct matches to papers from IMS Unison University in India, Columbia Basin College over in the United States, and Middle East Technical University in Turkey. I mean, this thing has a global footprint. So if you add up just those 3 specific student papers, you get 11% of the total score. Now, let's be super clear. The report found a huge 86% potential overlap with its giant database of student work. But this 11%, this is a hard, traceable line to specific assignments handed in at those other schools. Okay, so we've taken the numbers apart, we've followed the trail, now we've got to pull back and ask the big question. What does a report like this actually tell us? What's the takeaway here? Well, a profile like this one, with a super high score, most of it coming from just a few online sources, plus those direct hits with other student papers, it usually points to a few things. It could be a sign of not enough paraphrasing, or maybe something called patch writing, where you just kind of swap out a few words but keep the original sentence structure. Or it could just be a heavy reliance on the source text without giving proper credit. Now, I have to stress this point because it's really, really important. We are just looking at the data here. A similarity tool can only show you where text matches. It can't read the author's mind, it can't know their intent, and it absolutely does not automatically prove plagiarism. It's a clue, a data point. It's not the final verdict. And really, a report like this just perfectly captures how the whole challenge of research has shifted. I mean, it used to be that the hardest part was just finding the information, right? You had to go to a library, dig through dusty card catalogs, a real hunt. But today, the challenge is the complete opposite. The information is everywhere.
The truly hard part is putting it all together, citing it right, and adding that little spark of your own original thought.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. In an age where you can copy and paste pretty much anything, what does it truly mean to create something new? What's the real nature of creating knowledge today? It's a big question, and it's one that's worth asking ourselves anytime we sit down to research and write.